because it says, Father, forgive me. I am going to sin. If you have not read A Marriage in Trouble before, you need to go read one. Love it, love it. Ah! Listen, I could sing. Hi book besties and welcome back to my channel. Listen, in today's video I have for you dark and cozy romances. Listen, there are books inside here that I have been anticipating for months. When I tell you months, I mean months, okay? I am going to list out some books and we're going to get in to some books that you need to anticipate, that you need to look out for, that you need to move to the top of your TBR list or add to your TBR list. These books are a mixture of your cozy, small town, second chance romance, which I adore, but I also have for you some dark romances with mafia themes. I also have a few bully romances and I have some fantasy, y'all. I have quite a few number of fantasies. So if these are right up your alley, then stay tuned. King of Greed by Anna Wong, and this is your marriage in trouble second chance romance. Like, everyone is looking forward to reading this book. I love A Marriage in Trouble. When I tell you I love A Marriage in Trouble, I love that so much. I love the bantering. I love that it pulls on my heartstrings. I love that sometimes I get tears in my eyes. Listen, if you have not read A Marriage in Trouble before, you need to go read one. And then Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. If you watch my reading vlog, then you know that I thoroughly enjoyed this. I was frustrated at some points in time, yes, and it left me a bit confused because I felt that certain things wasn't explained, given that this is a fantasy romance. But nonetheless, I absolutely loved the heroine in this book, and now that we are getting Iron Flame, hopefully everything that wasn't explained in book 1, we are going to get in book 2. Hopefully Violet continue to grow and become more powerful and more skilled as a writer, and that this whole shenanigan, this whole scheme or ploy that the people who are in power has created, this false sense of security that they have created for the people, I hope everything comes to light. I'm sure it's going to come to light in book 2, which is why I am personally anticipating this book right here, Iron Flame. Now tell me, Lost by Skylar Mesa. This is your forbidden age gap romance. But listen, oh my god, this guy took a vow to stay away from women until he meets his destined wife. He has held on to this vow for 3 years. In comes his best friend's daughter. 3 years he held on to it until his best friend's daughter is an intern at his company. You could tell me I'm not going to read that because it says, Father, forgive me. I am going to sin. Love it, love it. Ah! Listen, I could sing and I could dance for this next book. The Unforgiving Queen by Eva Winners. This is book 2 in the Stolen Empire trilogy. Now, you have to read book 1 to read this book. It cannot be read as a standalone. In book 1, the hero and the heroine met when they were young. She was 6, he was 14. Fast forward, they met again when she became a teenager, and then they met again when she was 17, and they had like a nice little friendship going. He was always looking out for her, protecting her. He had always planned to use her, right? He is called the Bitter Prince. The name of book 1 is The Bitter Prince. He has ties to the Yakuza and to an Italian mafia family. So he's out for revenge and he plans to use her to seek that revenge. Turns out he started to feel feelings for her. They ended up in a relationship and then he found out some devastating news and had to break things off. He shattered this girl. He broke her heart. And now in book 2, she is betrothed to his brother. because of the way he broke up with her. What do you think is going to happen? How is he going to get her back, right? Because book 1 was nice and swoony. Even though we all knew he was using her, she had no clue. And now she's engaged to his brother. Eva winners, this book is releasing September 14th. No, that I'm going to read this. I also want to read Forge in Chaos, and this is by Abigail Glenn. You're hearing that? Thunder. I probably shouldn't read this book. Forge in Chaos by Abigail Glenn. Now in this book, it's all about betrayal, redemption, forbidden love, magic. So we have Tenha. She is loyal to everything and she's trying to save her father. But in order to do that, she may need to do something out of the box concerning magic. And then we have Renton. He is on the hunt and his next contract is Tenha, but she is not what he expected. She's supposed to be this bad person, caster of dark magic, and when he meets her, it's totally not what he expected. She is tricked into something. What that something is, we have no idea, but all we know is that it leads her down a path that could jeopardize everything, but she is betrayed by someone. Listen, this book, Eternal Rain by Caroline Peckham. Now, I haven't read the Academy or the Zodiac Academy. I haven't read that, okay? And that is quite a popular series. It's probably like book 8 or book 9 or something like that. But she has a new series, Age of Vampires, and this one, it is giving, okay? This is not your regular vampire book. So the first sentence in the blurb is, the vampire prince has never claimed a human until now. So the heroine in this book, she is a twin, and the humans are kept in cages just for blood production. And those that escape the cage are never seen again once they are taken. You have this annual testing coming up. So she and her sister decide to run. They run. She gets captured by an ancient vampire, and her sister gets captured by a vampire slayer with the word violence tattooed across his body. Now tell me, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? This is a new series, so I'm thinking, should I wait until more books come out, or should I read as books release? And I'm like, you know what? So no, don't wait. Just read it. You have been dying for a vampire romance so long. This one is giving me more excitement. This is not your swoony vampire romance. The author doesn't indicate if this is an adult romance or if it's a young adult romance. Lord have mercy. I am ready. Listen. Okay, Sinus Redemption by Bianca Borel. This is book 3 in the syndicate of sinners. We have Alexandra and we have Hayden. Alexandra, she grew up in a gilded cage. She has been much trapped, but she's also part of the cartel. She is the daughter of someone in the cartel. She meets Hayden and she's like, you know what? One time, just one chance she wants, just one time to be herself, just to live. Hayden, he knows exactly which family she comes from. He met her while she was volunteering at her grandmother's nursing home. He knows the stakes are going to be high with her, yet he's willing to put everything on the line. Is there going to be a war? Is this going to create issues between his syndicate and the cartel? This is your second chance billionaire romance, but I have read book 1 and book 2. They have their crime syndicates. So this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I've been dreaming of. Look at this cover. Isn't this giving fall? You cannot deny that this isn't given fall. So in this book, before she knew, this is part of a duet. And in this book, Rachel and Brad, they are high school sweethearts, but he pushed her away and he went with someone else. He broke her heart. Now, years after, she's married, but her marriage is in trouble. There are some secrets within her marriage and she never got over him. And then we have Brad, where he chose another woman over Rachel, but he never got over Rachel. And now after this encounter, feelings come up and he's like, is this what I've been missing for years? So in this book we have Yes, Your Second Chance, High School Sweethearts, First Love. We are going to get a rekindling of feelings, and I live for those things. So Maya Sheridan, she is re-releasing this duology. This released sometime back in 2014, but I never read it. I didn't read it. I read another book, but I didn't read this one. And this one is kind of popular, the Arcadia duology. And we have Becoming, Calder, and Finding Eden. This is a psychological romance. In this book, we have a forbidden friends to lovers, but they live in a place that has no electricity, no modern conveniences, no plumbing, no nothing like that. They were never meant to become friends, and now they are going to try to figure out how to attain their dreams. I have no idea how this is going to go. I feel like I'll be going into this book blind, going into this duology blind. This book has received a lot of ratings. I love the simplicity of the book covers. Y'all, we need to talk about book covers. I don't really talk about covers. I talk about the contents of the book, but I'm very much vibing this cover right here. It's cute to me. Up next, I have a small town romance. I have been reading this series, The Donnelly of Dogwood Cove. This series is taking place in a small town, and each book features a different sibling. Now, you can read these books as a total standalone, but listen, I love these brothers. They support each other. I just love how they care for each other. So Promise to Marry Me features one of those brothers. This is your friends to lovers marriage of convenience. Now we got like a slight gist of what was happening. So at the end of the previous book, Pretend to Love You, he received a call and he's like, yes, I'm coming. It is his close college friend and that she needs his help. And now we see that the title of this book is Promise to Marry Me. So I'm excited to read this one. I love the simplicity of Julia Garrett's writing. I love that she brings that small town vibes. I love that she brings this cozy vibes to her books. I also love her characters. I'm able to connect with her characters based on how she writes. So this is a must read for me this fall. Up next, I have a fantasy romance. I don't talk about fantasy romances often, but I've been vibing and I have been feeling for some fantasy, and we have a lot of fantasy releasing this fall. Forgotten Faith, and this is the Fae King Silverhold series. This is book 1 by Vera Rivers. In this book, the heroine, she wakes up in a forest with no idea of who she is. She has amnesia. She doesn't remember how she got there. All she knows is that she is there. And the king of the Fae, he is angry because she has trespassed. He doesn't trust strangers. And so he keeps her instead of letting her go, but she has nowhere to go because she cannot remember anything. And so there is this primal attraction between them. Her memories start to surface and she's seeing like a dark past, and this is actually going to ruin what she is creating now. It's going to ruin her future. I need to read this, y'all, because who is she? Who is she? What type of dark past does she have? Okay, how deadly is this king? Right? Tell me you're not asking yourself those questions. This book is triggering a lot of questions for me, and when questions arise while I read a blurb, I need to read it. So I have 2 hockey romances for you. This one, The Import Slut by Alys Clarke. This is book 1 in the Elite Hockey series, and this is your British hockey romance. So we meet Ryan. Ryan is all set for a new season in Canada. He has all his contracts ready. All he needs to do is sign, and then his brother asks him for a favor. So he goes to the UK to play hockey. His thing is, it's just 1 season and that's it. He can go back to his regular life. And then we have Jenna. Jenna's life is surrounded with hockey. Her best friend plays hockey. her uncle coach for a team. So hockey is a big part of her life. She is not doing well in the dating arena. She has to move back in with her parents as well as find a job. How they meet? I don't know. I hope they have a cute meeting. The cover of the book is cute, so why not? This is giving sweets. This is giving sweets, and I hope, y'all, I hope it doesn't fall flat, because the last hockey romance I read fell flat. This is another cute cover, y'all. This is so damn cute too, but look at the name. Dangerous Puckin' Play. Hear that name. Hear that name. This is your brother's best friend romance, and it is book 1 in the Francisco Sharks series. In this book, she spends 1 magical night and 2 amazing days with her brother's best friend, and then that's it. They knew that it was going to be cut short. Now, years later, they encounter each other. The flames are still there. They are both pursuing their own dreams, but her brother is no longer best friends with this guy. What happened? I don't know. How was it cut short? We don't know. We have to read the book to find out. She knows that she should stay clear of him, and she knows that they have a complicated relationship and past, but they are still reckless. Okay? This book, He Loves Me. This is part 2 in a duet. So book 1 is He Loves Me Not. I read book 1 a few months ago. This is written by Carmen Rosales. Now, in this book, Ruby and Kai, they start off as being very close friends. They come from different sides of the track. He comes from money and privilege. She comes from poverty and substance abuse. Now, she used to go to his house and they would play and have fun, and they made promises to each other, but they were 11 years. Something happens and she doesn't go to visit, and he is so torn up and he is so angry, and he held on to that anger. Fast forward a few years where they are seniors in high school. She is given 2 options. She can either go to juvie or go with her dad that she never knew about and live with him, complete her senior year without getting in trouble. She had no idea that this man existed, first of all, but she goes to live with him, finds out that he has an entire family, right? And all that time, she was in the system fighting to survive, and he held on to that anger. And when they finally meet, he takes out that anger and hurt and betrayal that he felt, that abandonment that he felt on her. This wasn't what I expected. Like, I saw the cover, I knew it was going to be that, but I had no idea this is what I was going to get. This is also a slow burn. Like, nothing happens, nothing spicy really happens between Ruby and Kai, but that does not equate to the book not being good. It was so good. Like, I enjoyed it. I did not miss the spice. Now, and He Loves Me, I'm wondering, are we going to get any spice? I want to see where the story goes as well. Can you imagine that? I am going to read book 2 in a duet where I know there's possibly not going to be any spice. But you know what? The story has held me captive. I seriously just need to read it. And lastly, I want to read Powerless, It Shouldn't Be Romance. This is by Margaret McHenzer, and in this book it says that before he was the president, he was a man who would do anything for love. Now, I don't know if he's a president yet. I have no idea, but I'm hoping that this is some type of second chance romance. Just by the cover, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what is going on? What is wrong? So Catherine and Bennett met. Catherine, her plan is to graduate high school, go to college, but she meets Bennett. Bennett, he is involved in an arranged marriage. He already knows who he has to marry. They are going to be a powerhouse in politics. It's a merging of 2 powerful families. But from the moment he met Catherine, he knew he wanted to marry her. The only thing is, what about his arranged marriage with Jennifer? He is the president. So before he was president, what happened? See this book? What happened between Bennett, Catherine, and Jennifer? Who did he end up marrying? Did he sacrifice love for the presidency, for politics? What really happened? I need to know. So these are my most anticipated books These are my fall reading recommendations to you. If you plan to read any of these books, please comment down below. I cannot wait to start reading these books. Listen, look out for reading updates.